Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another brand new video. And let me just say to the only point now that I'm going to get to anyways. And as a fervor, I probably want to make this point anyway and just get it through anyway, just get it out of my chest and just have the opportunity of the time being right a little bit for me just to say this, that well, man, I'm gonna just say that even though this is gonna be a little bit of a sad video, normally this would just be like a regular video every time, but this is just only a different hit thing a little bit. That's just different. That hits a little bit different. But let me just go ahead and fully just give the bit of small details that aren't big, just not that deep. It's just only that small of details anyway. So let me just go ahead and say this, by the way, is that yeah, I know it's gonna be a lot, and I know I just want this over with, and I just want to get this out of my chest anyway. Because I mean, at this point, it just can't keep staying in for a long, long ways in there. So, yeah, pretty much. Hate me or not, I'm just wanting to get this over with and just get it done. So that way I just don't have to retake every single thing that has to be retaken. So let me just go ahead and just say is this, that haven't you feel something that always may hit different? You know, like a certain thing I probably would say that isn't too huge or anything. Just want to say is like, haven't you felt like, that someone pretty close to somebody would ever take different chances of either staying alive or not? Which is just only a thing that I just probably would have never came to consume an answer to hear that exactly, which in some points again for me what I kind of view a little differently on some ways of different possibility ways going around is like saying is like, oh, like, having like different chances of staying around or not. It just takes different certain paths anyway of whatever happens anyway. Either taking the side of whatever that's gonna probably be, which I know there's gonna probably be things that's like chances of different possibilities of like being alive or not, which depends on anyways. But for what I'm gonna say right now, what really does shock me was that I had great memories, great times whenever I was around in 7 West at some point, which I don't even pretty much would be over there anymore exactly, which, I can still visit, but I probably just would say again, it's just like, yeah, a bit of interesting memories, which, I mean, did some of them were good? Maybe. And were some of them not as great? Well, that depends on that from the middle, but at this very point in time, I had great memories there. It was like very interesting, which the only one problem was about the bugs, and of course, the people were below were smoking, which was just not a great time. It was just bad almost for not as good health, but that's just the problem I just don't like anymore. It's just that, yeah, some people sometimes are not going to bug me as much. And if there are some people who do, by the way, that's just the problem I just don't really like that much. So that's all I'm going to say. And that's all I'm going to get to the point as likely as wise. So, yeah. And let me just get to the real chase here. Is that a person that was just like next to me was like, my papa had just passed away, which just kind of made me sad a little bit. And just say the fact that, well, it just made me sad a little bit, and I was just like, man, are you serious? Like, in the inside, I was crying, but when the outside was there, nah, it was a different story from the outside. I think the inside was the only important thing I was talking about, not the outside, because I know I was just holding it in by saying, it's like, wait, is this even true? Or was it just not true? Which I know sometimes it's going to lean true anyways, but let me just get to what really was going on was that, yeah, it just really made me a little sad a little bit by realizing and figuring out what happened was that my papa somehow just recently passed away, which all I gotta say is that his favorite character was Luigi, which I actually remember the fact that I heard him say ever, the first time ever that he said to me was that his favorite character was Luigi. And I'm like, Interesting. Picking an interesting character from like the Mario character that is like the good guy. That is like pretty interesting that he somehow likes the Luigi that is referring to like Mario's brother. That actually makes a lot of sense that I never like actually expected, but that's pretty interesting fact and an interesting opinion that I never expected it. But okay, well, if he somehow likes Luigi, then I don't blame him. I really don't blame him for that. But all I'm saying is that at least he's living a good life, in the Sky Heaven Adventures, like very interesting adventures in the Heaven Adventures or anything, which I just like to name it a little differently, just like, oh, made up something different by seeing like, why not call it the Heaven Adventures, just for something a little happier, a little bit like an interesting time or something like that. But anyway, at this very point in time, again, that yeah, for those who have like a member along with you, well, just tell me that in the comments, and what was like the good moments of all. And it just could probably be either which side it is. It's either like the good middle or not so much of it, but you do know what I mean. But anyway, this was just something a little different. I just want to get this around my chest and just want to make my own statement, just my own statement, like nothing else from the whatever exactly, but just from only my statement only. It's just that I just want to make this clear, anyways. Is that, well, even if it's been a long, long ways, long time that I just didn't realize, I was like, wait a minute, how did I not figure this out a little bit a minute ago? Like, I know it's been past anyways from like, not pretty much from the past anyways, but into the present. I just realized I was like, something did really missed a little bit that I just didn't figure out a little bit. That I did realize something that I've missed. I was like, wait, did I figure out something that I didn't really fully missed a little bit here? Like, that makes a lot of sense, which it kind of makes sense anyway. So, anyways, you guys probably will see the title of why that I'm just kind of referring to, but anyway, that being said, I just want to say this, by the way. I know this is just somehow a long video, but let me just say this, is that, well, it just kind of makes me feel a bit sad, but hey, at least I just want to say is that, well, I mean, as long as he's happy in like the Heaven Adventures, then, well, at some points, that's fine. Which we can all probably have respect anyways, but yeah, hopefully, again, as likely to say again, is that hopefully by the end of the time, I'll say is this, is that, well, there's going to probably be some good memories I've remembered, when I was kind of somewhere in 7th West, but hey, at least I'm not there anymore. But at this point, again, well, I guess that I'll say again is that, well, you'll be missed, and you'll be heavenly missed for all exactly. So that's just it. Anyway, that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up and sign off anyways. And yes, more Fights of Freddy's 2 gameplays are still continuing, like as always. But as of now, I just probably want to like make this a little tribute, just to like just borrow the time of the tribute and just say how sad it feels a little bit by how that kind of like affects me a little differently of what happened. But anyway, that being said, just want to let you all know is how sad it felt a little bit for what happened. But it only just affected me in the inside, not somewhere in the outside. I was just holding it in from the outside, but the inside, oh yeah, I think I already felt it from the inside, but not outside though. But you know, like I said, that's just all I want to talk about and say is like, yeah, you would be 100% missed, totally missed. But anyway, that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up and just sign off. And here's the 4 things before we wrap this up entirely: is just give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way, you guys again will not miss a single video that comes on this channel anyway. So, that being said, this is just my statement only, no one else, but just my statement, and just fully make the commitment and just say is like, how sad it felt and how breaking it is, that just affects me anyway. But that being said, it's just time to wrap this up. It's just time to sign off anyways. So, like as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. That way, you guys will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. and my backup channel. So that being said, see you guys next time. And yes, more Final Fantasy Phrase 2 gameplay will still continue. The rest of the remaining nights to continue. And that will probably be for it and for now. Which, yes, after Final Fantasy Phrase 2 is finished, then Mortal Kombat 2 is next, which I think I actually am going to be honest here. It probably will come around to those anyway. But that being said, time to sign out, time to sign off, and I'll see you guys absolutely in the next video. Take care, sign out, goodbye, and signing out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, and bye bye. Take care and sign off.